His first pick here now locked in, expecting that to go into the hands of Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon's been playing a lot of Morgana in solo queue. One of the strongest AP junglers alongside that Rumble, so that's going to get first picked away. How is C9 going to respond? I would be surprised to see a Diana. We might see something like the Kindred. Varus, Jinx are the strongest ADs on the patch, you would argue as well. The poke Varus so prevalent in fights, poke them out before the dragon spawns, can get you that priority towards the objective first. So we'll have to see how C9 responds. That's in Varus insta-lock. And it's all down to jungle here for me. The Kindred is something I wouldn't be surprised to see. Maybe go towards an AP mid laner for perks. Things like the Sylas could be really strong against the Morgana. And then how does Damwon respond?
And Cadril, I love it. If you have not tuned in to any League of Legends since playoffs, Chem Tank is dead. God bless. We got a Kindred, Morgana, jungle matchup into a Jhin, Leona bot lane. We got a Varus coming in as well. Every single pick is different in terms of overall priority. And frankly, Canyon on Morgana versus Blabber on one of his signature picks in the Kindred. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait. This meta is going to be a lot more fighting, a lot more action, and so much outplays to expect. You're not going to see Hecrims and Udyrs running around the Rift. You're going to see skill fights. You're going to see bindings, skill shots. You're going to see lots and 1v1s, 2v2s around early scuttles, and I'm so excited to see how it goes. But jungle bot lane has been picked for both these teams. C9 on red side can counterpick mid or top, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of Sylas priority for C9 here into that Leona, into that Morgana, as Renekton's already banned away. They're banning away the blind pick tops that Khan could have and trying to target him down.
And of course, Fudge, one of the least experienced members on this stage, still only 18 years old. Yes, he's technically 3 years into his career, and he has grown a lot over the course of LCS, but I know a lot of people are wondering how he will stack up against Khan. So getting him a safe matchup, potentially giving him that counter pick, could be the first step on setting him up for success. Now that said, Cadril, mid lane, still what we want to see. Yep. Gotta be a fan favorite matchup outside of the jungle. Orianna now banned away. We've heard that control mages have been very popular in scrims. Maybe we see something like a Victor picked up, or maybe we get a curveball.
The thing is, this meta is so unpredictable. There's so much big changes to the jungle, which if jungle gets changed to more AP-orientated champs, then mid lane all of a sudden becomes more AD-orientated. Control mages slowly fall off. You can see the Lucian ban coming out. The Renekton ban is a flex pick for the side of Damwon because you have the Morgana jungle. You can put the Renekton mid. Showmakers played that. You can put it top as well. So banning out the flex on the Renekton, taking away the Lucian, leaves the Tristana open. You would ask if Showmaker wants to opt into that, or maybe another AD mid. Maybe things like Kiana could come out. Even these assassins could come to fruition as the Lulu gets banned away. Not surprised to see that taken off the board. Perks playing a little bit of Lulu in solo queue alongside Blabber and Kindred in the duo queue sessions I've been seeing, which is very powerful mid jungle 2v2, right? Level 6, the Kindred gets buffed up, and he's your damage source.
And having a supportive solo laner when you already have double AD carries and a Tom Kench locked in is a big deal, but maybe it is the Victor that's going to be locked in here. Of course, the other pick, I think on everyone's mind, is the Tristana. Halo Blade's Tristana still ridiculously oppressive, barely touched in the patches between playoffs and now, so have to see if that's going to be the option coming in here for Showmaker. Would be a very aggressive pick. It'd be on perks to survive the early laning phase.
Yeah, C9 also saving their last pick for top here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Khan maybe look for a blind pick Sion. There isn't too much available. I mean, the Rumble's taken off the Jace, the Renekton, lots of picks taken away here. As we're seeing hovers on Zoe, that would mean you have a double AP mid-jungle, which kind of frees up C9 a little bit in terms of stats prioritization. Kind of helps him a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see some more AD come out of the top side then for that one.
And when you've got a Morgana, a Leona, a Jhin, and a Zoe, this is going to be one of the biggest Merc Treads games we've ever seen. That is the freest real estate I have ever seen. Anyone who can be building that item should be building that item. But the question is, how do we round this composition out? Is it the Sion? Gnar is the hover. Keep in mind, this champion has been hit repeatedly. If you were watching NA, you were on 11.5. Gnar was very powerful. He was hit on 11.6. He was also hit again on the most recent patch. Less movement speed on the Hyper Proc, less damage on the Hyper Proc, one of his primary trading tools in the lane phase. Despite that, though, still, Damwon Kia very comfortable locking it in as a blind pick here, and a champion that's generally hard to shut down completely.
Yeah, we'll see how Fudge responds. Does he want to go for a weak side top like Sion? Maybe even Karma could shut down the Gnar a little bit. We've seen counters to Gnar like Irelia. I would be surprised to see something like that come out from Fudge. I think a safer top here is also always good because you have a lot of scaling, you have a lot of wave clear, and you have a lot of poke. So we'll see what they opt into, but the Gnar blind pick, we've seen it throughout the last couple of months alongside Renekton, but that's going to be a GP into the Gnar. And Fudge, I mean, the GP is going to be pretty strong, I suppose, because you have a lot of immobile carries on the side of Damwon, the Jhin, the Zoe. They're looking for poke, they're looking to walk up. Zoe, yes, has a lot of range, but if you can land the GP ult with a Victor ult, that's a lot of control in fights. If you imagine a Dragon fight with a Varus, Victor, and a GP, that's a lot of zone control. So Damwon have to be careful. But like you said, they've got a lot of poke, but they've got a lot of CC too.
A lot of poke, a lot of CC. If they can get set up in the mid lane, Damwon Kia can certainly take this one over. Way too many long-range, non-committal CC tools between the Zoe, the Morgana, and the Jhin. That is a lethal trio. Now, if the footwork is good enough, if the movement is good enough for Cloud9, maybe it will not matter too much, but a difficult prospect to be certain. Where are we looking right now, Kadril? What lane has got to be the most important here in the early game?
Well, I think bot lane is kind of neutralized to the point where you've got Tam Kench into Leona. Maker is definitely the person to watch for Cloud9. They need to be very careful when they're setting up round objectives.
Absolutely do. So let's get it kicked off. This is going to be game one. If you're just joining us, it is, of course, patch 11.9. A lot of changes since playoffs on 11.6 or 11.5, depending on what region you were in the first match of one of the tournaments we've been waiting for a long time. Last year, of course, canceled. Sven, a player who should have been there last year, now getting a chance again to play on this stage. And level 1, already getting started for Cloud9.
Yeah, Vedia said on the desk, be careful of Cloud9's level 1s. We saw it in the finals as well. Also things like the lane swap that they did, but this time around, they don't have the Tristana, they don't have the Sion, because they can't opt into that. Maybe they want to look for some kind of invade, but that early ward on the Raptors will solidify some vision. And Canyon is actually running Predator on this Morgana. So he's going to be basing early, getting those boots and moving around the map. I think he also based for Sweeper, so they might be able to take this ward away and get some counter information going now.
And of course, with Verizon 5G All Chat, you can share your opinions, cheers, and well wishes using the Verizon 5G All Chat. We'll take a look at some of those tweets as we move through this game. For now, Damwon staying group, staying together, knowing that ward is there and going as a team to shut it down.
Yeah, but the key thing there is they swept away the ward and they spotted Canyon, which means that Canyon starting on the bot side, because it's already 1:24 into the game when they clear that out. 5 seconds to get the blue buff, no chance. So he's starting on the bot side, C9 have information. As we see a pause already, but C9 were kind of pulling the wave there to help themselves out. They'll know that the Damwon is actually leasing on the bot side, whereas Blabber is starting on the opposite side.
Assuming the game shortly. But I think it's hard not to talk about mid-jungle for a lot of reasons. One, Showmaker, a guy that you always want to look at, but he's going up against Perkz, right? A player who moved to NA and immediately started to dominate the region. Of course, it was a rough lock-in tournament, but after that, he's been going full steam ahead. As we take a look at this mid-lane matchup, a lot of things are going to change depending on how these junglers work. Blabber looking like one of the most promising NA talents we've seen in a long time. And on the opposite side, Canyon, arguably the best jungler in the world.
Yeah, if not the best jungler, the best player of the tournament, you could say, right? Canyon, so high up in solo queue, almost a step ahead of everyone at this MSI bootcamp, and these two junglers coming up against each other. Like you said, you've got Blabber, who's looking really good, really promising alongside Perkz. He's been unlocked. Even last year, he looked very, very strong, and now coming against Canyon, arguably the best jungler, if not the best player of the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see how both these junglers progress, because even if you look at the stats, they're kind of similar in ways. They're both self-sufficient, very, very efficient around their pathing. And this game, they're pathing to opposite sides, so they'll both get a full clear off. And we'll have to see how the mid-push progresses, because that's what junglers need. They need the mid-push. That solidifies the middle of the map pushed in, which means you can move the sides together. So they need to work together. They need to work as a unit in harmony to make sure they can get these side lanes even or ahead.
And one thing that I do like that we're seeing from Canyon already is the Predator now coming out. Of course, Morgana's a champion that's only really recently risen up as she got the jungle buffs, the clearing, of course, on her Tormented Soil, essentially double damage against monsters. You can see Canyon just zooming through the jungle, but see what that Predator is going to do if he just runs into melee range of a champion to make sure that he absolutely cannot miss that Dark Binding. It's a solid strategy, and pressure on Blabber to outplay that. Of course, you've got the ability to dodge repeatedly with the Kindred Q, but single binding hits on any one of these members, it's going to be a very difficult game.
Yeah, along with the blue smite, you can kind of walk up to them with the Predator and make sure you land that binding. But if you look at the top side, Fudge already has pressure, crashed the wave into Khan, based, did a cheater recall, and now he's kept his TP in this lane. As we see, Canyon actually backtracked on his pathing. He's level 4 to Blabber's level 3. That could be a fight here. We'll have to look at bot and mid push.
Going to be a big deal. That's going to be the follow-up CC. Already the Devourer has now been used. Perkz locked up. Guardian going to block most of that damage, trying to trade back here, but the arrow goes wide, and in the meantime, it looks like Blabber's just going to have to concede the crab.
Such smart pathing from Canyon. He actually managed to full clear towards top and contest the bot crab by the time Blabber only got to level 3, so denies the crab, doesn't want to look for a cross map in the sense that they trade, and now he can get double crab. Already ahead in this jungle matchup, the mid priority also helping him secure that crab.
Really good look early on. Having just a small camp advantage, a small XP advantage is going to further snowball as the second crab comes through. Canyon feeling damn good in this early game. That said, Perkz getting the better of Showmaker for now in some of these early trades. Victor Q just notoriously oppressive in lane. As we just check in on the rest of the map. Otherwise, lane state overall pretty even. Yes, Perkz doing okay in pressure and in trades, but Showmaker still winning out in CS. And Khan, while he did end up giving a pretty favorable recall to Fudge, it looks like he is still managing to keep pressure on the top side.
Yeah, Fudge still has a TP, so lots of back and forth going in these lanes. See Showmaker TPing back, but the key thing is Canyon's already slightly ahead. He's already based, he got double crab, has the boots, has the Predator ready. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Canyon clear out these Krugs, clear out the Raptors, get level 5, and look for action around the map, because they have got this bot push, they are winning bot trades, they have the mid push. Maybe they want to look for some kind of mid to bot As we see such aggressive trading coming out from Beryl.
Perks locked up, immediate devour. Of course, long cooldown early. If you can force a couple engages back-to-back, maybe you can punish, but Sven for now doing quite well. Even if it is the lethality Varus, of course, Halo Blade's just very, very strong in the early laning phase. Certainly going to outvalue, at least in short trades, the likes of the Fleet footwork. But that said, Canyon now on the way to this bottom tower. They are both incredibly low. A single binding hits and they are done. That said, Zenith Blade has been used. Canyon still going to walk in, binding in, cleanse out from Vulcan. Really good pressure comes in from Canyon.
Yeah, that's the pressure of the mid to bot, having mid push and having your jungler one step ahead of the enemy jungle because of the double crab, because of the base with Predator. He walks up there, and although he doesn't really force much other than a cleanse, he makes it so Sven loses bot wave and Damwon's bot lane base at the same tempo as C9. So that means they'll both get back to the lane together at the same time, but Damwon just naturally has an advantage, denying XP and golds from the bot lane of C9. And what did Canyon lose for that? Basically nothing. He used about 10 to 15 seconds of his time. He already cleared out the Krugs, and now he's already pathing towards the top side. So these small kind of intricacies making it so Canyon can get his lanes ahead, so they can make sure that they can get the gold leads, the XP leads coming into these early dragons.
And you see already Showmaker small XP lead over Perks, Khan doing okay over Fudge. As level 6s start to come through, maybe we see a bit more aggression coming in from Khan on the top side when he has access to that ultimate, but I think more important for C9 is going to be the cannon barrage from Fudge. Does it stop out some of these aggressive plays? Does it give them the avenue to kick something off? Because as you mentioned in Champ Select, Kadril, a lot of very immobile carries on the side of Damwon Kia.
And he'll definitely need that cannon barrage soon, because it looks like Canyon's based again after clearing his top camps. He's walking back towards the bot side. His bot camps are going to respawn, and Beryl's teamed up with Showmaker to secure bot side vision. So C9 have a big problem on the bot side of the map. That's why you can see them grouping up. They need to get rid of this vision so they can actually see Damwon moving from mid to bot, so they can stop it. But it looks like they're going to start up an early Drake. Perks TPing back to mid. The cannon barrage is up, so if Damwon want to contest this, it could be a 4v4.
Pressuring Showmaker right now. That's going to be the ultimate used up. Showmaker going to be forced away, holding onto that flash as long as he can. One more tick, the Q, the flash out, but
Canyon stole the dragon!
Canyon, we're going to need a replay of that one. In the meantime, the fight is now kicked off. Cannon barrage going in, but it's only level 4 for Sven, level 5 for Blabber. They do not have the hard CC they need to keep this fight going. Black shield on, DK simply walk away, and they might fish for the re-engage. Canyon, level 6. Initially, Binding goes a little bit wide, dodged out by Blabber. They're now backing away. C9 pushing forward slowly but surely. They've got Perks behind them, ready to back them up. Showmaker has no teleport. Beryl getting run down.
Flash.
Binding connects. Third auto will connect alongside the arrow, and that's going to be first blood for C9.
That's actually pretty big. They lost the dragon. I think Canyon must have blast coned over the wall because he still has his flash and smited it away from Blabber. I wonder if he actually leveled up from that and got to 6 and was able to turn the fight, but Perks moving down and Showmaker not having TP meant the Damwon had to run. They couldn't turn the fight, and first blood goes across to Cloud9. That's a really big win for them despite losing this dragon.
And we'll have to look back, of course, at how that exactly played out. Really surprised when we look mid. It looks like Showmaker's going down. Seems like everything is going good for C9 in that trade. And then, of course, Canyon just stealing the Drake away. As now Khan, he's not just going to let Canyon have all the fun counter jungling here. He's moving in, stealing Blabber's red buff. Blabber's still only level 5 in this game.
Might die here, though.
He's just going to get gnarred into the wall. 1, 2, 3. That's the wall up. An assist comes in for Zoe on the backside. Khan, clean invade.
Disaster for Blabber. Ever since the double crab, he's been a step behind. He loses the dragon, and now he loses his red buff and loses his life. Canyon's 2 levels up onto Blabber, and all Canyon's been doing is using his priorities to secure camps. Let's see here. Canyon is level 5. He blast guns over the wall with Predator, steals it away. I wonder if he levels up here as well, because then that means the team fight, they have to run away. He does level up, so Blabber has to run, and C9 think that they have to flash away and lose the fight, but Showmaker's in base. They have the cannon barrage like you talked about, Dragos, and because the key factor in Perks having that mid push and being there for the fight means Damwon have to run away. I think this recontest from them was kind of greedy.
The struggle, of course, for C9, though, Kadril, is they don't have a lot of ways to get fights kicked off. So you can see they have good damage if they can isolate a target, but even when Sven hits level 6, he might just end up trading his ultimate into a black shield. Cloud9, if Damwon Kia wants to come into them, maybe they can find a favorable fight, but proactively, they really lack a lot of tools.
Yeah, they do. The black shield negates a lot of the engage that C9 have alongside the chains of corruption, but the problem for C9 is you have no push in top, Khan can take away your red. You have no push in mid and no push in bot. That means Beryl can move from bot to mid, and Canyon can start up the Herald for free. The dragon's down, he's a level up on Blabber. Blabber's a step behind. That means he has to clear his camps to catch up, which gives Canyon free time to start the neutrals. So, steals away the dragon, Beryl's hovering around just in case C9 might want to contest his Herald, and Showmaker no flash means that C9, the only real way they can crack open the mid to bot is by taking Showmaker down and then unlocking the bot side of the map. But now, Herald's gone. That's probably going to be used in the mid lane. And Damwon, even though the gold doesn't show it, they're very far ahead in this early game.
And it's concerning too, because obviously mid lane tower is important for any composition, but when you are playing against a Jhin, a Zoe, and a Morgana, mid lane tower is just about everything in the early game. Once that breaks down, it is easy access into the Cloud9 jungle for Damwon Kia, which means better vision, which means more long-range bubbles, more long-range bindings, more long-range Jhin snares. It will be brutal just to survive in the mid game for Cloud9 if they lose that mid lane tower.
Yeah, and Damwon are definitely focusing that objective. Khan has the top push, Barrels come back to bot so they can contest the bot push now, but Sven with that first blood, he is going towards the Serrated Dirk, towards the poke Varus. Maybe if they can get some good trades down here, they can relieve Perks, who's suffering a little bit. Blabber's still 2 levels down, he must level up from his Raptor camp. No, he doesn't, so he's still level 6 at 10 minutes into the game. I think Canyon so far ahead right now in this early game.
And of course, we have to remember that for Cloud9, when you look back at them, if you listen to the interviews that they had, they're not a team that tilts or falls apart easily. They're a team that did not turn away when they started losing games to Liquid in the final. They stayed, they kept their eyes on the prize. But the question is, can that same level of focus come through? Because the international experience is not there for Cloud9. You can see already 35 across most of this right up. Khan, a very veteran player, going to have to hold that thought though as Barrel is going in. That's going to be the ulti follow-up. Now Barrel's going to be in trouble. He's going to get taken out.
Kill.
They're overstaying, and that's the C9 bot lane showing up clutch when they needed to.
Sven still has heal. This is what we talked about. They need to get some pressure in bot to relieve Perks, who's against Showmaker, playing so aggressive. Canyon's walking in his jungle, and he's getting a Herald on his tower, so this 2v2 kill is massive for C9. It gets Sven further ahead. The problem is they're too low to be able to move into the river. Vulcan had to base. The curtain call's coming out, and
but Ghost had no vision, so he was just blind firing, hoping. Because if he hit a single one, obviously Canyon could just follow up immediately, but they hit nothing, and you can see Sven absolutely fearless in this bottom lane.
Yeah, if he hit one of those shots and got vision, Canyon could have flashed over the wall, right? Sven has no flash from the 2v2, and C9, their win condition is on this bot side. Fudge with the cannon barrage is helping these 2v2s out a lot, and Damwon blunder on the bot side of the map again. Sven so far ahead on this Varus, you would argue, building towards that Mythic. I think when it comes to the next Dragon, he'll be crucial in getting them chunked out before the fight starts. We see the replay. Looks like Barrel's the one who engages this, but they have the eats from Vulcan, and they have the Cannon Barrage.
Of course, level 7 for Ghost. Fourth shot goes in, but it doesn't really hit on Sven the way they want it to. An easy kill, an easy pickup. The Hail of Blades with a little bit of lethality is just so powerful at this stage in the game.
Yeah, and that's so crucial there, because what Damwon was going to do is push in mid and move towards bot again. You can see all the pressures on the mid-bot side, but C9 starting up the Dragon again. TP's coming in from Showmaker. They don't have the Cannon Barrage, and both top laners have TP. It could
level
be a 5v5.
Canyon. Binding going to go down, the stairs not going to connect. Barrel going to flash in with the auto perks. The follow-up CC is there. Now moving in is the Zoe, but Vulcan says not today. Trouble Bubble will not connect, but Canyon in the midst of everybody, level 9. Now looking to isolate Sven, but he just one-taps him. The damage is enough. The Kindred saves the day. Meanwhile, on the backside, Barrel now going in. Keep your eyes on Khan. Keep your eyes on the Mega Gnar. He's got just enough time, but no, he can't find the ult. Perks takes down Barrel. Showmaker on the hunt, but he will not find the bubble. Cloud9 come out on top in the play.
How did they get away with that? It looked like all of Cloud9 was going to get aced there. The Mega Gnar coming in, they all flash out, but they managed to get some kills. They get 2 kills in total. Yes, they don't get the Drake, but C9, I thought they were wiped off the floor there. I thought DK was going to get the kills and the Dragon, but they kited out. Sven takes down Canyon, Barrel falls, and they managed to kite out this fight.
And when we look back at this, Cadre, we said mid-jungle is where we needed to watch. Blabber, he got demolished in the jungle, but the bot lane for Cloud9 is the factor that has turned this around. Sven and Vulcan have been so clean. Canyon so confident, so far ahead, but not strong enough to survive Sven.
Yeah, the Lamb's Respite keeps Blabber up just enough in time so he can hop over and get the Blast Cone. Barrel gets Blast Cone into Perks. Perks flashes away from the Mega Gnar, and they all managed to escape. Showmaker didn't land the bubble, the bindings didn't connect, and C9 get the kills they need to keep this game alive.
But Khan still again here, waiting in the darkness. And yes, Sven is strong, but Blabber remains in a difficult position. Damwon Kia focusing, shutting down enemy jungler, making sure this Kindred cannot come ahead. It is such a tough position.
Yeah, really, really tough position. Blabber needs to farm up a little bit more to get back into the game. He's still a level down on Canyon, and it feels like Damwon control the river. And C9 are the ones finding windows to start the Dragon with numbers advantage. Start objectives, these small windows, but Damwon have pressure in all lanes. And C9 are managing the Storm really well. If they can keep this up, maybe deny this Dragon, take it away for themselves, then they can slow the game down, because this is a Cloud Dragon. So the Soul is going to be Ocean or Infernal. Huge, huge team fight abilities, huge team fighting Soul. So if either team picks that up, it could be crucial.
And Namira S at Petra Canyon. I know that Damwon is the strongest one, but nothing is possible. Cloud9 to win the first match. Watch them, and I might not have been a believer, my friend, but amen. They are getting some work done on the map. Now, they're not out of hot water yet. Certainly, Damwon Kia staying neck and neck in terms of the overall gold, even if Sven is quite strong, but a very tight matchup here in the early to mid game, despite Canyon's very favorable start.
Yep, really far in the jungle, still 2 levels up. They still have all the lanes pushed, and they are eventually going to get this top tower, which Khan has had pushed in all game. Managed to take away red buff, got vision for himself to keep himself self-sustained, and we expected the game to play out like this. We expected there to be a lot of mid-jungle bot side priority, and the top lanes to be weak side as Perks dodges away from the bindings. And I think when it gets to 2 to 3 items, C9 will start coming online. You can see the Merc Treads being built across the board. No Mythics complete just yet, but once they start completing them, C9 will have a lot of poke and a lot of teamfight tools with the GP, the Victor, and the Varus. The Jhin and Zoe, they only really have single target damage. They only really can keep up in the single target engages, whereas C9 have a lot of tools to work with in the teamfights.
Blabber just barely making it out on that. Good time on the hail of arrows there. Now, Khan moving in to break this. Of course, GP ult's coming in. TK also bringing in some backup as well. It's going to be 3 in the mid lane rather. Kindred ult coming out, not quite able to gnar them out to safety, forcing early flashes. Cloud9, good value out of the Kindred ult, but very risky play.
That's one way to find an engage, using the Kindred and the Tahm Kench ultimate to force the flash out of Khan, but this is the problem. Top push moves to mid, then they can start cracking open the mid tower with numbers advantage. Bot lane is late to the play, the tower falls, so although Damwon are losing out in the kills, the pushing lanes is helping them get the towers, and that's why they're ahead in gold still. But C9 are holding on. You can see Sven has picked up the Prowler score, so the mythics are being completed, and they just need a couple more items so that when the teamfights start, maybe look to chunk them out, poke them out, and use these massive teamfight ultimates around the dragon, because both teams have 1 dragon. The next dragon's up in 3 minutes, so the soul is at least 18 minutes away.
And it does feel like the game is still very tight, still very closely contested, but as Damwon Kia start to pull a little bit more ahead, as mid lane tower is now broken, something we highlighted earlier, very crucial. How many more of these picks start to go in the favor of Damwon Kia? How many plays have we even seen this game where a single sidestep from Cloud9 is the only thing that separates them from life and death? Much harder when you don't have vision, much harder when you don't have reliable control of your own jungle. But for now, Cloud9 are trying to control the terrain, control the battlefield by laying down some vision around this dragon, by securing the Scuttlecraft for Blabber, making sure that he can at least get out of the deficit.
Yeah, C9 weathering the storm, and Sven and Vulcan have been a key driving factor behind that. We saw them in the LCS as very strong bot lane, self-sufficient in the lane, and Damwon's bot lane statistically kind of behind in a sense. They weren't super far ahead in CS, even though they were such a dominant team. It mostly came from the top side of the map, so C9 exploiting what you could argue is a weakness for Damwon. But Damwon still have full map control right now.
And Damwon, of course, still an incredibly dominant game, and Ghost and Barrel still a very solid bot lane, but you're right, they have been known to have those hiccups. You heard it from Wadid on the desk, you saw it if you watched the finals as well. Send a Tahm Kench game, you've got Ghost wandering to gank lanes, giving up his life. So while the team is mostly very clean, mostly very consistent, if you had to point at one area where it has a little bit more inconsistency, it would be the Damwon Kia bottom lane. 0-3-0 the score for Barrel, 3 of the 4 deaths on the side of Damwon Kia. And Cloud9 trying to fight back at least a little bit, pushing up their vision line into enemy territory. Showmaker just scouting into the fog.
Yeah, an interesting setup from Cloud9. They've gone for a 1-3-1 to keep the lanes pushed as much as possible as Blabber finds Ghost.
Gale Force now comes out. TK on the way. They need to pull back, though. Canyon is there with the Black Shield to stop any potential follow-up. But Cloud9 looking for picks. Binding is going to go in. Vulcan will sidestep. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Khan goes in. Stridebreaker right into the wall. Fudge going to quickly get out of that one. Orange just make it all okay.
Yeah.
The Barrel there to clear the wave as well.
Good reaction there, but you can see the pressure Damwon have. C9 tried to find windows to make a play. They managed to get Ghost, but the heal on the Gale Force keeps them alive. C9, what they have going for them now is they have the bot push, and they have the mid push. They've swapped up the lanes. They put Sven and Vulcan into the mid lane to deal with Showmaker, and now Showmaker's the one saying, okay, you guys match them. I want to go to bot side. So Perks, Sven, Vulcan keeping the mid bot side pushed out while Blabber keeps farming. Still 2 levels down, but he's recovering slowly. The Dragon's up in 50 seconds. Both top laners have TP. You can see Khan's already basing. And Damwon's next objective is this bot tier 1. So you're going to see them contest mid to bot. Maybe Khan runs out of base to mid to help his team. And there might be a dragon fight on the cards in the next minute or so.
Showmaker set to take this tower. And while it is only 1 Drake apiece, Ocean Soul, pretty impossible to win against if you're playing against a poke composition. And they do manage to secure it at the same time. If you were the one getting poked, it also helps out a lot. So Ocean Soul about the most favorable role for both sides here.
Yeah, and Damwon have so many resources. Not so much the gold, but they have the pushing lanes. The pushing mid, they have the Herald to use whenever they want onto a tier 2 tower. They have all the vision on the bot side of the map. Khan has the priority top, so he's grouping as well. So C9, even though the gold's only around 1,000 deficit, the amount of resources Damwon have in other respective roles is dangerous as Perks gets chunked out a little bit there, has to use the Chaos Storm.
Trouble Bubble into the Binding, a clean combo there, finally connecting, but not quite enough burst damage in that exchange. 5 minutes from now, another half an item comes through. That's going to be a very different story, however.
Perk gonna base and TP back. C9 playing through bot here. They have the push in bot. They don't have the push in mid. Let's put Fudge from top to mid, and let's play 4-man into bot side. Maybe we can contest the Dragon. Showmaker's been poked out a little bit already. Perks has the TP. Here he comes. The Dragon's up.
Perks can come in and con Meganar, not ideally timed. He's going to have 15 seconds before he can even start to stack that Rage again. Just now turning into Mini. Maybe Cloud9 feel like they can force this fight. TP coming in on the Herald from Showmaker. Ready to push in. Pressure in the mid lane, though. Damwon Kia just keep Cloud9 here. That Herald will crash into mid. Meantime, Barrel getting chunked out. C9 now backing away, looking to finish this one. Canyon not even going to walk up to contest. That is the Dragon to Cloud9, but here comes the curtain call. Fudge now going to be in trouble. Lamb's Respite blocking any follow-up damage for now. The rest of Cloud9 now on the retreat. They got the objective they came for. They need to get out. That Herald is still working in the mid lane. Fudge flashing to safety. Damwon Kia steadily pushing forward. They are a juggernaut. They will not be stopped, but they may not find any kills. Herald continues down the mid lane, breaks mid tier 2, moving on to the inhibitor tower. Damwon Kia trading the Drake for a tower and a half.
C9 get out of the fight again. They used all their ultimates and zoning tools to secure the Dragon, but at what cost? Damwon have the pushing lanes again. They move bot, they get the tier 1, the tier 2 fell during the fight, and C9 are losing more than they're gaining, but they're slowing the game down. That's the key thing here. Perks.
Follow up, Tom Kench now coming in. Are they going to be able to finish it before Vulcan get in the area? Perks now stepping forward, ready to match Ghost here. A lot of confidence coming in. Vulcan there to back him up.
Yeah, forces Ghost flash. Perks doesn't even hesitate there. Keeps the flash. Vulcan uses the Abyssal Voyage to get in, but the key thing here is the Dragon slow down the game. C9 can keep wave clearing. Damwon's Nash is not that fast with Zoe Jin, so maybe they think trading these neutral objectives for the Dragon and losing gold for it is how they slow the game down, get the Victor Varus to 3 items, and then we can start to contest the team fights and use these ultimates more aggressively.
Vulcan, though, maybe caught out here. The immediate cleanse. Follow-up CC not quite there. And Cadril, it's good that you call it out because ultimately, Damwon Kia had the Herald. They could use it at some point. It had to be used. So for Cloud9, inevitably, there was going to be a pressure point on the map. The fact that they get the Drake, not too bad. Overall, though, still a 2K gold deficit. Showmaker and Canyon are still terrifying. They are about to be able to start one-shotting anyone on the Cloud9 backline, while Khan might just look for the solo bolo here. Perfect layering of the CC from downtown. Ghost is the backup, and Fudge, essentially a solo kill up against Khan.
This is the problem when you lose your towers and the waves are pushed in. You can't greed for these buffs. As we hang on here, Blabber's getting engaged on.
Follow-up, Vulcan, not sure who he needs to devour. He's pulling back Sven. Sven going to throw out the ult, try to disengage with Barrels in the midst of the entire team. Damwon Kia going to find the shutdown. Perks off to the side. The gravity field not enough to stop the coming storm. Damwon Kia moving into mid lane, ready to break down this inhibitor. Perk's going to do his best to clear the wave, but Damwon coming out on top again.
They might look for Baron here. 30 seconds on the bot lane of C9. Fudge has the TP and the cannon barrage in 15 seconds. Damwon's Baron is quite slow, so this could be a bit risky. If Perks can get there with the Chaos Storm, maybe they can get the cannon barrage in. Blabber's coming out of base. Maybe he can look for the steal with the Lamb's Respite. This could be dangerous for Damwon, but it looks like they have the vision to pull it off.
Full confidence, 22-minute Baron. Perks on the way in, as you said, ultimate up and ready. Here comes the cannon barrage. So far, it's that cooldown for free. Damwon, of course, going to be forced to reset. Maybe a small moment where Cloud9 can try to get some more pressure on the map.
And this is the key thing. Damwon's Baron is slow. Yes, C9 lose a couple of members, but the gold hasn't grown too much. C9 are slowly weathering the storm. They've slowed down the Dragons. They're going to keep contesting the vision around Baron to keep their jungle warded up to make sure they can slow it down. They have the tools to slow it down. And although Damwon get the fight, they don't decide to push in. They try the Baron, and in the end, they lose out. They lost their tempo, they lost their lead in terms of having the time on the map, and now they have to contest the vision around C9 again.
Dragon now 2 minutes away. Bubble gonna go wide. And Cadril, while Cloud9 certainly are fighting it back, it still feels like Damwon continue to pull out further and further ahead, just slowly but surely building these massive advantages. Khan now on the chase. 4 members stacked up here. This could be a massive Meganar if he wants to go for the hop. The flash forward, he's gonna hit 2 to the wall. Khan, the immediate follow. Lamb's Rise Fight, it's gonna buy a few seconds, but it will not save the lives of C9. Damwon are here, and they are not to be trifled with. Sven on the backside, maybe, just maybe, the lethality bars can turn it, but no. Barrel shutting him down, locking him up, stopping him from getting anything else. The chain CC simply too much, but Vulcan is there to body block. Vulcan is there to save his AD carry. Not enough to save the fight.
C9 are being greedy. They're walking out their base too much. Damwon have taken almost all of the tier 2s as well. They're mid-tier 2s down. C9 don't have anything to fall back to. They tried to run to their base gate, but at 23 minutes in the game, when Damwon have so much control, they can chase him down. You can see Khan on the Gnar chasing him down. Ghost using the Ws across the map. The poke coming in. C9, I think this Baron might fall, but Vulcan's using the Abyssal Voyage. He might try to get Sven in there. Sven, poke Varus. Maybe he can steal it if they get some kind of vision, but C9 need to find this to hold on.
Without Varus, the powered Q.
Maybe you can find
Maybe,
Barrel.
just maybe. The timing's not going to be quite right, though. Devour comes out, 3K, getting lower and lower. He doesn't have any skills left. He has to flash out to safety. That's going to be the Nash over to the side of Damwon Kia. Cloud9, a valiant effort, but will not be able to steal it away.
That might be the nail in the coffin for Cloud9. They've been dodging and diving away from Damwon to get these new projectives to slow the game down, but now when they have the Zoe, the Jhin, and the Gnar with the Baron buff, the siege is going to be deadly. But Fudge is really deep here. The blue orb spotting him out, and Khan can chase him down in this matchup. He's so far ahead on the Gnar with the Strikebreaker. Sidesteps the barrel there, which was crucial, and then gets the Mega Gnar just in time for when C9 think they can help him out. And Damwon have the vision to contest this. Damwon's all collapsing down, and Khan's engage was crucial.
And the follow-up CC here from Damwon Kia is just so
Canyon.
impressive. The flash over the wall, the immediate follow-up with the Morgana ultimate, binding coming out as well. Sven tries to fire back, but hey, look, Barrel's cooldowns are up one more time. Now Showmaker's coming in. Now Ghost is coming in. The amount of CC on this team is so oppressive. If you start to lose a fight against Damwon Kia, they are just going to keep beating you in that fight.
Yeah, and the majority of the time, C9 were able to kite away and get out of the fight before losing members, but Canyon solidifies it by flashing over the wall and getting the fight going and secures the members down.
And how confident are Damwon Kia? Can they use this Red Bull Baron power play just to end the game? Sleepy Trouble Bubble continues to connect, and the thing is, as more items stack on the Damwon Kia side and no resistance items outside of those Merc Treads are coming through for the side of C9, they are incredibly vulnerable to the Zoe, to the Morgana, even to the Jhin from these long-range engages.
There's a bubble into a binding. ETH is forced, and now Damwon can start to push forwards. They're playing a 4-1 with Zoe in mid, so Showmaker just kind of poking them from the side, trying to hit down this mid-inhib, waiting for the waves. And Damwon, they're playing on 2 lanes. C9, they have the wave clear to be able to deal with it, but the bubbles and the bindings are what's going to hurt them the most.
Showmaker going over the wall. Cloud9 just cannot start a fight. GP Ultimate is the big tool that they use, but if they misuse it, Damwon Kia have free reign over their entire base. So instead of fighting right now, they're just trying to weather the storm as best as they can. Baron buff is here. One inhibitor will most certainly drop. With only 1 minute left, can Cloud9 hold on to the rest of their base?
Khan has Mega Gnar now, and he's on the side. If C9 want to defend this tower, they're all going to be grouped up. That's why Khan's threatening with the Mega Gnar and DK. They can walk up and start hitting this tower. Perks trying to get the wave clear going. He's stepping up. He has the ETH behind him, so he can afford to do this. But slowly and surely, Damwon are going to poke down this tower.
Good sidestep on the snare there from Perks on the Jhin. Buying as much time as he can up against Ghost and the rest of this team. Strength of this control mage as opposed to Zoe just has this infinite wave clear. That said, not enough against the Baron empowered creeps. Ghost moving in. 2 shots, last shot remaining, ready to use it on an inhibitor if necessary. And sadly, Cloud9 just getting forced back. They have no room to fight.
Showmaker went out of mana in the poke. He went down to blue buff to collect it from Canyon, I believe. Now he's back with the blue buff, so the poke's coming in. The Leona ult comes out. I don't think they found the engage, though.
Follow up onto Sven. Vulcan holding onto Devour. Keep your eyes on that cooldown. He's going to stop the barrel engage for now. Cloud9 need to be ready to turn here. They may have to wait for the Tahm Kench Devour to be up again before they try anything. Perks, is he ready to commit the ult? But here comes Khan again. 3 into the wall. GP ult, the immediate follow-up. Now the Kindred ult coming in. Cloud9 buying a bit of time, but do they have the damage to turn this fight? They're surviving. They're holding on. Canyon goes golden, but he's in the midst of the base. It's still 2 towers up. Ghost moving in, but Perks holding on for dear life. Not nearly enough. Fudge and Vulcan, the last 2 members standing, but Damwon Kia moving through the base, moving around the Nexus, and taking out each and every member of Cloud9. Cloud9 was a valiant effort in the early game, and while Fudge will find 1 kill back, Damwon Kia will close this game out with confidence. Ghost stepping forward, Showmaker unafraid. Damwon Kia looking for their first win at the MSI 2021 group stage, and they're going to do it in style. From downtown with a long-range composition, Damwon will take the win.
Such clean execution. You could see it from every single fight. Damwon were pushing C9 back, and in the end with the Baron buff, C9 had nowhere to run to. They were pushed all the way into their base gates, into the Nexus, and Damwon found the fight, cleaned them up, and ended the game. Around 27-minute game, and as soon as Baron fell and Damwon got that Baron with Zoe, with Gnar, with Leona, they can almost find the engage whenever they want. The Mega Gnar's on the side. Leona can just pop her ultimate to make them back off, and C9 had nowhere to run to. They had to stand their ground, and in the end, Damwon, too much firepower.
Way too much firepower, way too much long-range CC. Damwon Kia coming in with a good read on what would work for them in the meta. And while it was a good look for Cloud9, the lethality Varus on the bottom side, looking like a solid first pick, won them out the bot lane pretty handedly on a lot of those exchanges. It was not enough as they moved towards the mid-game. And I mean, Damwon Kia, you look at a game like that, and from the outside you see, ooh, little glimmers of hope for Cloud9 here, little glimmer of hope here, but Damwon Kia just so oppressive, choking you out of that game, getting